Hey everyone, this is Ray with the channel Lovewater Healing, and I'm here to do the yearly reading for 2023 for all of my Aries. Hope you're all doing wonderful and fantastic. It just felt like it made more sense for me to do the yearly readings after everything was sort of closed up and buttoned up from 2022, and I felt like this was the time to do it. We have the Chinese New Year, and we just had this new moon, so let's get in it. Okay, Aries, you have freedom. Liberate yourself from the manifestations of the past, from what is often called tradition. Throw open the cupboard doors to reveal the skeletons and release the crystallized views of your ancestors that have manifested as your genes. Your genes are threads of reality formed by the power of your ancestors' thoughts and feelings. Let us say thank you to all who have come before us for their creations and all they have lived. For in doing so, they gave you options and brought to you where you are now. When you were born, you arrived at a vibration of all that the generations before you wanted. You are the manifestation of the expanded previous generation. Each generation's job is to expand even more for the sheer beauty and joy of it. This is the natural flow of life. Somehow we allowed ourselves to become living statues, reenacting the experiences of the past, becoming a victim to this. Your genes are a blueprint, formed by the past to give you a place to start when you arrive. Your genes do not decide anything, you do. Liberate yourself and become who you are. You are powerful. I feel like you just got this. Maybe you got it for the monthly, but it's a totally on spot for you, Aries. So let's see what the rest of the year has. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So maybe we've been dealing with a little bit of stress here in this January time. Heartbreak, sorrow, grief comes in. There's also 3 people. It's the 3 of Swords. So it's not a bad thing. It's just about you moving forward, acknowledging what's happened, and then pushing forward to the next place. So it's not going to be a long-winded thing for you, but there's going to be some change that comes along with what you've been going through. So you have the Tower. Cool thing about the Tower, this is about releasing. So if you are going through this hardship in terms of a heartbreak or grief or sorrow in January, this is bringing down everything and sort of opening up a light, right? You see, like here on the card, they have a big eye up in the sky. It's showing you that there is light at the end of the tunnel. This too shall pass. Now we're going to go through the release after the destruction. So it's actually really powerful because it's showing that if you are going through that grieving process from something that happened in your life, you're able to start really pushing forward because everything breaks down in order for it to build back up. And then you have March, which has lots of love, magic, and fun. You have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is holding a cup in their hand, and it's got a fish in it, and I just feel like it's time to go fishing, right? Not necessarily like literally fishing, right? But figuratively, we're talking. I mean, unless you really want to go fishing, I'm not going to stop you, Aries. Maybe it'll bring you some joy. But this is just making sure that you are taking the fun with life. So if you've gone through this, this Tower moment, which is fine, this is actually perfect considering what we're going through from here in January. I think it's perfect that you're going into a magical, fun, loving place in March. Then you have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is about new beginnings. So if it was heartbreak, you are finally like moving past it. In April here, and prosperity, abundance, new beginnings. That's what the whole Ace of Pentacles is about. So that'll be really powerful. Then you have the Ten of Swords. So you'll probably go through this final closure from whatever was going on here. I'm not saying emotionally. I'm saying like maybe there was stuff that you were helping put together. Emotionally going through something, you know, can take a little bit longer. Unless you knew it was coming and maybe you've dealt with your grief in a different way. But this is about like endings, finales, closures, like it being completely done. And you can, you know, finally feel like you're moved forward, right? Because you've got the eye here and you've got the eye here. So you went through that release, you know, deconstruction, reconstruction. And this is like finally, you know, maybe emotionally you're working through some of the harder spots here. I mean, you'll, you know, with grief, you continue to move in directions and work through things. And then you have the Five of Pentacles. So this is going to be what, in June? And I want you to realize that this shows someone that's like out in the cold, but really what it comes down to is they see that there's light behind them and they're able to follow that light. So there might be some, you know, hardship that you go through as a result, right? And it could have a lot to do with this Freedom card too. That card was really powerful for you, Aries. You may want to go back to the beginning of the video and listen to it again, but you letting yourself, you know, have and go through, you know, the struggles of loss is going to be so important because you know that you can learn these lessons. You're more than capable. You're one of the signs that, you know, is able to like push through and really focus on the lessons. Then we're telling you in July, like, hey, just chill, do things, you know, in moderation. You're going through some healing. It could be a time where you know, need guidance from your teachings, you know, what you've gone through, and maybe in this breaking of, you know, the generational, the genes, right? You're like pushing through to really balance things out and find guidance for yourself. And then you have the Five of Cups. So, you know, I think that there's going to be a flux of maybe emotions that you're going through because of this Three of Swords in the very beginning of the year. So, you know, this is about like leaving and loss. But here's the thing, like, so you've gone through this temperance, right? And you've started to like heal, do things in moderation, and balance things out. There's always going to be an opposite, right? It's the law of opposites. So if you're starting to feel like a lot better, there might just be something that like brings you back into an emotional space that doesn't feel good. And you're finally like leaving and moving on from the situation a little bit more fully, or maybe in a different emotional space. And then you have the Queen of Wands. So this is telling you in August to start getting creative again. You are a leader, Aries. We all know this. Start focusing on what you can do as that leader. You're a leader not only in your personal life, but also a leader in your business, in your career, and what you do. So start using that as you start pushing forward. And then you have the Knight of Wands, which is about like intuition, and maybe there's a fire sign besides you, right? But I feel like this is you. And this is intuition and flow and pushing forward. And then you have the eye again. So this is all about, see the eyes that you got, the focus here. So you can push forward. Then you have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords to me is about you showing how much strength that you have, standing in the truth of who you are, aligning with it more fully, and start like really chugging forward. Like, you know, start getting more ambitious about the things that you want to do in either in your life or as you've pushed forward through this three. Then you have the Four of Cups, which is beautiful because it shows you that, you know, whatever this loss was, you may be in a yearning stage here in December to say, oh, I feel like some type of way because this happened here, and you had just been, you know, around this other person or at this job or whatever at the end of 2022. So this is just saying that like there's going to be a feeling of like yearning for what you had before. And it's okay, because everything is going to, if you start to feel like that, just chill yourself out, right? You start to feel bored, bring yourself into a spot where you're able to just love yourself. Start really focusing on what makes you feel good. I think that's going to be really powerful for you. There we go. Okay, Aries, I like how this is turning out for the year. This is really beautiful. Okay, so music's going to help you with the January, February, March stage. Then you have the spring equinox, which is really powerful that you got that card. So this is about rebirth and new beginning, which is what you're going to forge towards here at the end of the year. And then you have the meadow, which is about being vulnerable. So I think when the emotional stuff comes up, where you feel, like you are more loss again, and you're yearning for it, and you're really trying to like get out of the cold, right? Get out of that that place. It'll be in like the autumn time. This is going to just show you that it's important to be vulnerable. The meadow always wants you to see like there's a rainbow off, in the distance. So this too shall pass. And then you have the wolf. So for me at the end of the year here, this is actually really powerful, because the wolf, first of all, runs in packs normally, right? You could be a lone wolf as we come into the December time, right? The hermit, the wolf. But it's perfect because you're relying on feeling better, right? You're going from this hermit stage of what was built a foundation before the end of last year, and then the foundation decided that it was going to start anew, right? So it's really powerful that you're able to get to this place by the end of the year. I love that for you. Okay, let's see what we have here. I release the need to consume what doesn't align with my goals. So let's see if I can get you to see that. I know it's blurry and it's really bright. So that'll be your yearly manifestation. And let's see what we got here. Ooh, you have the spider. Spider is about manifesting fate. And let me read the spider to you, and then you can do your thing. Okay, so blessings for manifesting fate. Formulate your decisions with truth, honesty, and sincerity. Weave the right things into your life that allow you to follow the right course and be able to distinguish what is next in your life. Detoxify yourself mentally and spiritually, if needed, to find balance between the past and the future. So you're going from here to here, right? So we're going all the way here. Oh, I'm sorry. To here at the end of the year, which is incredible. Maybe you're working through this, having the freedom of tradition. So here we go. Spider finds your true reality of spirit. Spider is a balance between the past and the future. Spider manifests new creations, opportunities, and ideas. It provides consistency and independence while helping to achieve new enlightenment. When with enlightenment, we are able to weave a web of a new fate or success. So as you're able to move through this year, I think it'll be really awesome for you that when you go into this phase of, the lone wolf at the end of December, you'll be able to see the web that you've, woven for yourself throughout the whole year. So I think that's really powerful, and I love that for you. And that's all I got for your yearly reading. I hope everyone really enjoys and has an abundant and prosperous year. And I will talk to you soon. As always, love your water and love yourself. I'll see you on the next video. Love you.